Korea's economy grew by 1.5% in the third quarter, the fastest pace in more than 7 years, thanks to strength in manufacturing and construction. Exports were also up, especially semiconductors, which rose to their second highest level ever. Jung-hwan reports.
Korea's economy grew by 1.5% on quarter in the third quarter of this year, recording its fastest growth since the second quarter of 2010 when the economy grew by 1.7%. The Bank of Korea announced Friday that Korea's GDP increased by 0.1 percentage point more than the bank's previous estimate of 1.4% on the back of manufacturing and construction. The central bank said if the rate of growth continues during the fourth quarter of 2017, then at the start of next year, the real gross national income per capita will reach $30,000 for the first time in Korea's history. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy said Friday the nation's exports in November hit nearly $50 billion, up 9.6% from the previous year. Although the export growth figure, which failed to reach double digits, marks a slowdown from September's 35% surge in export growth from the previous year, the Trade Ministry remains optimistic about November's preliminary figures, saying it is the highest rate of an on-year increase ever recorded for the months of November. 9 out of the 13 major product types recorded posted increases, with 5 items such as semiconductors, general machinery, and petroleum products recording double-digit export growth. Semiconductors in particular saw $9.5 billion in exports, recording their second highest export figures of all time, and exports of general machinery products increased by $4.6 billion. Exports to all regions increased in November, with the exception of the Middle East. Outbound shipments to China, Korea's largest trading partner, climbed more than 20%, part of a 4-month surge to reach $14 billion, Korea's highest ever monthly export to China.
The fundamental reason for the record high exports to China is because Korea is exporting many intermediate goods. The demand for intermediate goods such as semiconductors is increasing, while exports of general machinery are also on the up due to the Chinese construction industry's recovery.
Along with exports, inbound shipments to the country also rose over 12.3% on year in November to $41 billion. As exports and imports have exceeded $520 and $430 billion respectively from January to November this year, the Trade Ministry expects Korea's total trade to surpass $1 trillion by end of this year. Jung-hwan, Arirang News.